Again, the WhatsApp is down, unfortunately. So if you want to give comments, you have to hop on our live on Facebook or YouTube or dial 4579997. So
I'm over here smiling because whole morning I've been doing something to Ari unintentionally.
no, we go fight in the studio. We go fight. People gonna
Ari,
hear
I
we on
apologize.
people gonna hear we on air fighting.
I apologize. I sincerely
People
apologize.
people will hear us fighting on air.
I just keep getting a look from Ari and he's like, huh. It's all good. It's all good.
It's all of it.
All right. So yeah, Ari, what we up to? What we talking about right now?
So the topic now is, did Sandals or did the what was it, the workshop, what was it called, the drive,
Job fair.
the job fair, did Sandals job fair shine a light on unemployment or underemployment in St. Vincent and the Grenadines?
All right. So this topic is a bit of an interest to me. From a particular vantage point, right? But I'm going to read an article which came out on Eyewitness News on October 1st. It's kind of late, but still, it's still of pertinence to us in Vinci, right? So it says 1,700 interviewed at Sandals Job Fair in Kingston. Reading again directly from it, the article, about 1,700 people were interviewed at the Sandals Job Fair in Kingston last week, which was expanded on 2 of the 5 days to accommodate the large number of applicants. Sandals is planning to recruit about 800 people in St. Vincent and the Grenadines to work at the beaches resort in Bocamet Bay, which is scheduled to open in March of 2024. The job fair in Kingston interviewed people to fill spaces in rooms division, food and beverage, water sports, engineering, administration, finance, entertainment, communication, human resources, Sanders Corporate University, sales, weddings, loyalty, and travel, spa, Photoshop, landscaping, resort, shop, and laundry. So as we see there, it's a wide range of skill sets that would be required to work in the various divisions. The managing director said, I would describe it as very, very successful. He was saying that we were on the last day, and so far we have seen, I would say, close to 1,500, and looking outside of that was a full house when he was being interviewed, right? There's another part that he says, I would say we are seeing from an educational level extremely well-qualified, bright persons that we're seeing. So we are very, very satisfied with that. We are also seeing a mixture. We're seeing a lot of young people, middle-aged and more mature, but there are a lot of young, bright persons here, right? So Sandals only has 800 positions, but 1,700 persons applied. What was also of interest to me in this article was that not at the job fair, but there was a period that they were asking for applications for managerial positions, and over 300 persons applied for those managerial posts. Yesterday, on looking at SVG TV News, there was a clip from Minister of Tourism, Carlos James, when he was saying that over 100 Vincentians applicants were shortlisted out of 675 for the Mediterranean Shipping Company, because they had they're having a similar drive, a similar employment fair yesterday and today. So what part of me, it's a twofold situation in this, in that I am wondering if the amount of persons who applied for these positions, are they necessarily unemployed or are they underemployed? Or maybe it's a mixture of both, right? And the reason why I was curious about it is that about a week or so ago, so you know that something is new happening. Persons are looking, a new establishment is opening, and there are persons who may be flocking to these new places because of the fact that they may be unsatisfied with where they currently are, right? So I do take the point that yes, there may be a lot of persons who are unemployed, but I also wonder how many persons in Vinci are find themselves in a position of being underemployed. You see, we see sometimes that and as we discussed before, when Crystal was here, is that you see a lot of persons who come back with their degrees, etc., but many of them are not working in the fields in which they would have studied. Many of them just take a job because of the fact that they have bills to be paid to pay.
I was one
And
of them.
and in cases where, let's say, you have a student loan, I remember even in my case, even before I started working, the bank calls me to find out what's happening with my student loan payment, even before I found a job. So it's always I don't know, it's a bit of a sad situation for me in a sense where in both cases, with the Mediterranean cruise line, they're only able to accept 100 persons out of the 600 plus who applied. And in the case of Sandals, 1,700 applied, but they're only able to offer 800 positions.
So the reason why I laugh is because I have clips and there's photos in the newspapers regarding the Sandals story. So if the people who are already employed, if they if they
If
in
they-
these clips are extremely unfortunate, that what are we to get caught looking for another job?
But you see that's also another interesting point though, Ari, because I heard a similar comment coming from someone. They employ somebody and the person was given the impression that they were going to leave the job, but they said they weren't coming in on the Monday or no, I think it was the Tuesday. And then the employer got the impression that their employee was going to attend the job fair. But is it wrong for persons, even if I was video photographed there, what's wrong with me being photographed there if I am seeking better employment? Do we have the type of employers who are going to stagnate the growth of your employee?
Simmons and the Grenadines, definitely, but we have a call. Let's take this call. Oh, okay. Good morning, caller.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, you're live. Go
You're
ahead.
live, you're live.
Hello.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes. So you're bothered by the amount of people that apply and the amount that they hire, right?
Yeah.
So you're wondering about the others
The others,
that
correct,
are not
right.
able to get in.
Right.
Okay. So some places have a high turnover rate. So the people who didn't get hired now, they could get hired later. People are gonna get fired. People are gonna work there and don't like it and quit. People are gonna migrate. Some people are gonna die. Some people are gonna commit crime and go to jail. Some people are gonna get hurt on the job and have to retire. So, and who got there until they're old, they retire eventually. So that's where the others will come in.
Yeah, but
I'm working the same place 24 years. The amount of people I see come and go. So application that was filled out, they are able to, if they don't get another job in that time, they're able to come on as people leave.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And go ahead.
No, you go ahead. You go ahead.
And the opportunity, the opportunity, you don't have to stay there for 20 or 40 years and do the same thing, It's opportunity. It could be a stepping stone to other things. People get to meet people. There are people from all over the world that comes there. They get to meet people. They may link up with these people, and some of them get to go overseas. People create friendships and relationships and stuff, and they're able to move on from there to something better.
Yeah, but
It's just an opportunity.
Let me put a situation to you, right? There I don't know the exact figure, but there are a bunch of graduates from the community. Well, yeah, the community college from different divisions who are now looking to be employed. Outside of that, there's still a number. Yeah, there's still a number of both if in all age groups, you young, middle, old, that are looking for jobs. Because we don't know the exact unemployment figure, right? But we see now Sandals saw, was it 15 or 1300?
At the job fair, 1,700.
1,700, higher than what I thought. 1,700 people at the job fair. Now we don't know if there's 1,000 of these people are employed. We don't know. But that's the question that we're asking. Did Sandals shine a light on unemployment, and is there underemployment in St. Vincent and the Grenadines? Because we need to also accept the fact that a lot of people are not happy with the salaries.
And
Yeah. People have jobs and they want to move on to something else. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And it's not even just necessarily about
That's,
salaries. Carly, you can go ahead and then I could give my commentary after.
go ahead, and I'll
Okay.
respond.
Because one of the other things, like I was in a conversation with four persons recently, and in the room of the four of us, three of us at least commented at one point in our lives where we were underemployed, in that our skill sets were not being utilized to the full extent in which they really could have been. So part of that also has me wondering, do we necessarily have a lot of jobs that are able to tap into the skill set of persons who are returning from studying? You also have to look at the level of experience, because there's one thing that I've also noticed in that, in a previous profession, going through applications, there are a lot of persons who have made it seem as though just having the degree by itself is enough. What are you doing to make yourself a bit more marketable, to make yourself a bit more outstanding when it comes to these situations where new opportunities present themselves? I think that a lot of persons have just settled for the fact that they have a degree. There is nothing else after on their CV, just apart from having that degree by itself. So do persons make themselves a bit more marketable to be employed? What sets you apart? It's just little things. Sometimes it's just little things, like being involved in service clubs, taking the lead in church, whatever ways in which you can just add to that CV. And I'm not just saying add to the CV just for adding sake, but you're adding to the CV so that you can bring with you a new set of skill sets, or, bring a new dimension to just having that degree, let's say in journalism or in management.
Yeah. Yeah.
And some employers will go for
Go ahead, Carla.
experience who previously work in the hotel industry too. They might get a leg up over other people in the force amount that they're hiring, and then when that's filled up, they get the other people who don't have experience. But sometimes experience is very important.
Yeah.
And Sanders also carry people overseas too, so some of these people might be able to, they send people to other Sanders. I'm saying so. They send people to other Sanders in the region, other people who they didn't hire at the present, they could come in and fill in.
Yeah.
Okay.
I hear somebody was complaining to was a politician. Somebody was complaining on a radio show in another island about Sanders. Well, they bring in other people from other islands, and give them different position. And this guy say, well, he went. This was an Antigua politician. And he said, well, I went to Jamaica and I've been to St. Lucia, and I see Antiguans working over there in a supervisor position. So people should now always get this all
have a
stuff
problem
when
with that.
they are coming.
I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah, sometimes I actually don't have an issue with that in a short-term instance, in that you can bring in the foreigners or the expats to train the locals. So you have a training initiative that's happening, so that at least the nationals can be able to take their arms, at least once they're qualified and they're able to do the job effectively. There's nothing wrong with, for me, in terms of bringing in the expats, just to train them, and then in certain instances, then the locals take over. Yeah.
Well, the intention to get jobs outside same way. All right, so have a good day. Bye.
All right, have a good day, Carla. You said something that's very interesting to me. That are these skills being utilized in St. Vincent? Because we then complain about brain drain when people go away and study, and then they come back and positions that they would want not available for them. So that made me think about what the Prime Minister said on Isuatan on Sunday, that the St. Vincent and Grenadines Community College is undergoing restructuring and will see upgrades and additions to programs being offered. So I think this is one case in which the college is expanding itself, it's upgrading itself, it's developing itself, and now opening positions that were not usually there. Brand new positions for persons who are qualified to improve the college in many different ways, because that has also been a goal to improve our college. Because remember, when they introduced the accreditation program, the argument was, what value will that have? And now we're seeing the value that the college bring. Look, in here hospitalities, the training that these these hospitality workers are receiving at the college. A lot better than what has been the case over the years. And you can see it improving in the workforce. Before you go and order food, the server look like she more vexed than you to give you your food.
It's
Like,
probably the salary. But
yeah,
anyway.
that ain't your job ain't have nothing to do with me
I know,
serving my food.
yeah.
No, you're seeing an improvement in
Right.
that. You're seeing a more professionalism in the workforce.
Right.
So I think, like you're always saying, we develop it. Third word.
Yes.
We developing.
I will hit you.
We developing. And look, we're showing ways in which we are developing.
But you know, another factor for me as well, and I'm speaking it from as a returning graduate, there was a point in time where I felt stagnant. And I felt stagnant in terms of my educational progress. The reason for me saying that was I know that in years past, CED used to offer a lot of training. They had like a calendar of training things that you could take up, whether it's in HR, whether it's in business, there was like a whole calendar of programs. So what it is that I did, because of the fact that when you come back with a degree, it's basically like, what do you do next? What opportunities are available here for me?
Yeah.
And there aren't that many. So I used to capitalize on CED training to be able to just to keep abreast of certain things and to keep my mind going. But I noticed in the instance of CED, I probably need to double check, but I know that in checking over the previous years past, that they have not been able to offer the same type of training courses that they did in the past. And that is one of the things that sort of hinders maybe even persons who come back with the degree. And maybe why it is when I made the comment that their education stops after having that degree because there isn't, let's say, a lot of opportunities available here locally. That's relatively affordable for you to capitalize on. Now, I do know that the University of the West Indies does offer certificate courses, right? There are maybe like 3+ months that they go on for. But it's, I as I said before, sometimes I feel the frustration of persons. It's like you come back, you want to be doing this, you want to be doing that, but you fall back into just going through the motions.
That definitely happened to me.
Yeah.
Because I came back because I was in PR, I was in event planning. I was trying to be a all-round communication specialist. And I came home with so many ideas. Like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do this. And then at some point, like, I love St. Vincent, but it brings you back down to like, let me just find a job and survive.
But you know, there was a point when I don't know about you in your situation, because you got a scholarship, right?
Yeah.
But I do know at one point the PM did say that everybody doesn't have to return as long as you're making your financial obligations, your commitments, you're fulfilling those. Then you don't necessarily, because it's not possible for the government or even SVG to employ everybody who's coming back, and maybe not just employ persons, because we also have to look at the quality of employment that persons are getting, because you're coming back with your degree to do what? Maybe administrative stuff that you don't need to be doing as a degree holder. Maybe that could be done by somebody fresh out of college, So it's a lot of things that we have to think about. And as you did say, is it that the amount of persons who have applied for these jobs, is it a reflection of the unemployment or maybe underemployment here in SVG?
That's a good question to ask and a very relevant question to ask, because then I remember in our previous conversation, was it last week or week before, made mention of the guys who just hanging out on the blocks. The construction of sandals. When you go down there, you're hearing a variety of accents. You're hearing Lucian accents, you're hearing Jamaican, you're hearing the obvious Latinos. But I can't think of even seeing or hearing Vincentians being part of the project down at Sandals. I could be wrong.
No,
could be wrong.
They are a part of it. I'm not sure in terms of the percentage what the ratio is there, but they have to be.
They don't have to be.
No, in this case, I think that they have to be.
Because if it is that a foreign company gets the contract and they send over their workers, they don't have to have Vincent.
Well, that's the thing. These things need to be written in the contracts, because even with the same thing that we're talking about, having, let's say, expats head at the initial stages, written into the contract could be that they hand over that managerial positions to a local after them having gone through training. These are things that to me have to be written into them. Now, it's not to say that we don't want to have non-nationals employed here, because we look for opportunities in other parts of the world all the time, you know, but if, as it's being said, that there is a high level of unemployment for among young people, then this needs to be addressed. Even if it's just a case of a starting job, let's say, for them to gain experience. And the thing of it is that people need to be able to remember, you have to capitalize on experience. Let's say you were teaching. I was teaching at one point in time. It may not have been our dream job. So I did not want to be a teacher to be there, you know. But the thing of it is that I would have gained certain experiences and certain skill sets that would have allowed me to go to another job, go to that job, gain a new skill set, other things, and keep adding and adding and adding as I went along, you know. So no opportunity necessarily is a wasted one. It's what you choose to take away from it.
I think what's also important that people need to realize that not every job is for you. Although you might be qualified, you're capable of doing the job, but if there's no passion there, then you're tormenting yourself.
Yeah.
But the time is now 8:31. We're going to pay some bills and get right back to our activated mornings this morning.
St. Vincent and the Grenadines.